Our next guest is a British Jamaican actor and writer from Birmingham and is the author of the latest children's book, Lines, Lines, Lines. Joining us now via Zoom all the way from the UK is Luke Elliott. Good morning, Luke. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Hi, good morning. Nice to be here.
Yes. Lines, lines, lines. I'm going to hazard a guess that this is because as an actor, you know the process of lines. Is that what inspired it?
Yes, exactly. I was approached by the publisher, and they gave me just a short brief. They said we'd like a story about a young boy who wants to be an actor. Mm-hmm. And so I created this character called Amari, who goes on this journey trying to learn lines for an audition for his school play.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where Lines, Lines, Lines came from.
Yeah. One of the things that struck me about it is often, acting is an individual process. You work with actors on stage and so on, but it really requires a community, because Amari is trying to learn his lines, but he needs people to help him. Why highlight that aspect of the process? Is this about showing children they need community, or even that adults need to support children?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Both sides of that. I think we kind of move towards a more individualistic society right now, and I think what we really need is community. Community really proffers growth and development, and we need it. The human species needs people. We're social creatures, Mm-hmm. And children really do. Children really need the support from family, from parents, and I like to think that family is at the heart of this, and that with support from your family, you can achieve great things, hopefully.
Yeah. And also I find that sometimes, they'll throw in the support for the academics, but for other things. And so when I heard, Amari, I'm doing something right now, I can't help you with the lines, I thought to myself, I wonder if he said I have a math problem. If they would help him. Yeah. It's important that whatever they pursue, they get support, no?
Yes, absolutely. When I told my family that I wanted to be an actor instead, I had got into university to do archaeology, and I never went. I ended up acting instead, and it was a long road to get them to see my vision and to fully support it, because the arts are seen as something that is unstable when it comes to money, when it comes to progression, which is true, I won't lie. Mm-hmm. But you're right, it should be about what makes you happy, and what feeds your soul.
Yeah. It's for all children, but do you think particularly children who are interested in the arts and the performing arts, this book is a great introduction for them?
I would love it to be. I really would. The brief, set out for, roughly around the age of 6. Mm-hmm. And so I had those children in mind. And so what I tried to do is implement little things within the book that older children might enjoy, like the language. The book uses quite a lot of patois.
Yes.
There's also little nods to popular culture. So, without the risk of getting into copyright infringement, there is his older brother, Leon. He has a poster of Black Puma. Mm-hmm. And, the play on the popular superhero character. Yes. And just small little things that older children might enjoy as they get into this. And it would be nice to inspire in some way, some small way, more children, especially young Black children in the UK, to get into the arts, whatever that might be.
Tell me about the choice of language, because as you said, there is some patois in it. Why? Here in the UK, why not just go all the way with the King's English?
That's a good question. So when I was growing up, the vast majority of my family, anybody who was at least above the age of 50 was straight from Jamaica. And I grew up hearing the language. I grew up around it, around the culture. And as with any diaspora, the further the generations go, the more you lose elements of the culture. Yes. And we have been losing that in the UK, and it's it's very sad to see. And our culture is often not in our own hands. And I know there is debates going on around language, around what patois or is, whether it's a language or a dialect. Me, I err on the side of language, and there are loads of reasons around that. And I think it's very important that we hold on to our language, because language is such a key part of our culture.
Yeah.
And yeah, it connects us. It connects us here in the diaspora to back home, and to our roots. And yeah, I like to try and help in whatever way I can to kind of keep that back.
Yeah, and I love to see our language in books, because there was a time where they felt that our language was just for the oral experience. And so to have it in the book alongside the King's English, represents it well and says and positions it where it deserves to be as our own language. Tell me about the illustrations. I love them. How did you work? Well, this is what dad's gonna be like. This is what mom's gonna be like. What was that process like?
So the publisher paired me up with this fantastic artist. Their name is Asma Aiden, and they're based in France at the moment, I believe. Okay. And we got to talking. I kind of had a rough idea about what the characters would look like. And immediately they sent back some sketches, and I was like, yes, that's exactly what I had in my head. Yeah. And we got on very, very well. It's, I had this idea. It's a British Jamaican family. His parents are from Jamaica. He and his brother are born in Birmingham, which is why alongside patois, alongside English, there is also Brummie dialect. Yeah. As well, just dotted in here and there. And it's another political thing with representation. We don't in the UK have much representation for Black children, for Black families in books. It's around less than 1% of children's books have a Black character as the main character. And it was important to me to have his parents also embody that. And I just wanted to do a twist, so often we see, a Black father with a non-Black wife, or a light-skinned wife. Yeah. And I just wanted to reverse that, because it happens and we should all be celebrated. And I just loved the image of a Black woman who was dark skinned with locks. Yes. Being there on the page, because we just don't see it. We just don't see enough of it.
We don't see enough of it. It's great. The representations, they're working parents. They're hard-working parents. It's an older brother who's doing his homework and not just playing video games. And so it really is a wholesome image of family, Luke. So thank you so much for thinking about it. We have to go, but where do we find Lines? Is it available online?
Lines. Yes, it's available. There's a company called Waterstones here in the UK. That's our big bookstore. It's also available at smaller independent bookstores like Rocket Ship. You can also get it from the publisher, Formy Books, FORMY. Yeah. You will, if you Google it, and it will come up. It will come up.
Awesome, Luke. Great talking to you. And all the best on Lines, and on your lines as well. Sometime we'll talk about what's happening with you and theatre in the UK.
Thank you.
All right. That was author Luke Elliott talking about his latest children's book, Lines. Coming up next, it's our He Said, She Said discussion. Do you really have to pay your dues?